gentlemen, dear journalists, dear colleagues, welcome to Zurich for the first press conference for the 2030 CEV Volleyball European Championship Women here in Zurich, the Hans Stadium. We are very happy to have a large amount of journalists here. From the beginning of tomorrow there will be more or less 70-80 journalists who are accredited for being here in Zurich. So, but first of all, let me introduce you our guests here, the coaches of the four teams, starting with Miss Svetlana Ilic, coach of the Swiss team. Then on my right side, Mr. Gert Vande Broek, coach of the Belgian team. Then on my left side, Fabrice Vial, coach of the French team, and Marco Mencarelli, coach of the Italian team. And on my side, it's Philipp Schütz, CEV Press Director. Just let me give you some organizational information first. As I already written to you in my mail, the accreditation process will start by tomorrow in the morning, not in the morning, 3 hours before the first game starts. The accreditation desk will be, if you're facing this side, on our right hand side here, down at the counter, and the entrance for the press is this entrance where you came in now, and the press center you have already seen, and some of you have already seen the competition hall. Now at the moment the CEV Jury President, Mr. Jan Ronek, is checking all the things, so it's the last visit of all the setup in the competition hall, and hopefully everything is okay for today and for tomorrow even more. So Philipp Schütz will lead the press conference with the coaches. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Markus. Welcome also from our side. For me it's a special pleasure because the first time the competition is in Switzerland. It's my home country, so I'm very happy to be here. And we will just go for 3 different rounds. The first round with, like, the first question would be like explain us some information about, give us some explanation about your team. Then the second round would be like of our pool here in Zurich, like which team you see as a favorite, which team probably you can beat, I hope. And then give us some information, the third round, like in general about this European Championship. What do you think about the favorites? Which teams have a chance to go to Berlin final? I will start with Marco. Okay. How do you see your team? I know in Italy you are preparing the World Championship next year, so I think this European Championship must be a very special phase now for you.
Parlo l'italiano, sì. Dunque, noi siamo in un anno particolare del nostro programma, un anno dove abbiamo potuto, diciamo così, lanciare qualche nuova proposta nella nazionale seniores, e abbiamo visto un ottimo livello di competitività già nei test che abbiamo effettuato, sia a livello di confronto a livello europeo sia a livello mondiale, nelle varie partite che abbiamo disputato del Grand Prix, compresa la finale. E chiaramente la nostra prospettiva è fondata su 2 tappe: la prima quella che ci porta al mondiale del prossimo anno e quella che ci porta alla prossima Olimpiade, e chiaramente è un programma di 4 anni dove questo rappresenta l'approccio e l'inizio, e quindi è in quest'ottica che dobbiamo vedere la nostra squadra. Ovviamente è una squadra che risente un po' della gioventù, qualche alto e basso, ma credo che sia abbastanza normale.
Thank you very much. So, for Italy, it's a special year. They are preparing, on one side, they are preparing next year because we have the World Championship in Italy, 2014, next year. And then, in the second stage, they would prepare the Olympic Games 2016 in Rio. They have a new team with some players who are very experienced, but also some younger players and they already had the chance to have some good games against good teams from Europe, but also from the world, and they see that they are on the right way, but still need a lot of practice to know in which direction their team is going. But Marco is ready, and his team is also ready for this championship, more or less. Okay?
Ok.
Grazie mille. Fabrice, la France.
Je peux parler en français.
Tu peux aussi parler en français.
Ben moi, c'est ma troisième participation au championnat d'Europe. Ça doit être peut-être une des premières fois où j'ai mon équipe au complet. Donc voilà, on s'est fixé des objectifs assez élevés dans cette compétition. Ce serait d'aller en quart de finale. Donc les filles sont prêtes. On a un été de travail. La qualification a été compliquée contre l'Ukraine. On a commencé le 6 mai notre saison. Et depuis, on n'a quasiment pas arrêté de travailler, donc avec beaucoup de matchs amicaux, les Jeux méditerranéens. Voilà, on a une équipe qui est prête à en découdre et qui souhaite faire un résultat sur cette compétition.
So for Fabrice, it's the third time he is participating with his team on the European Championship, and it's the first time he has his team complete. That means no injuries or no major injuries, so the best possible France team. They had kind of a difficult qualification phase with a difficult game against Ukraine. Finally they won in the golden set and qualified for this championship. Their goal is to go until the quarterfinal, so for them it's a high goal, what you said, but the team is ready. They started their preparation on May 6th and had all summer of work and a lot of weeks and a lot of training sessions during this summer. Thank you very much, Fabrice. We will come back to you for questions very soon. Belgium, let's go.
Okay, thank you. I'm 5-year coach of this national team, and we started 5 years ago with a very young team. Young talents, and the assistant in that period is the girl here on my left-handed side, was Svetlana Ilic. She worked for 2 years with us, 1 year and a half I think. But this team participated in the European Championship in Poland. Then not second time, but now they qualified. And we also participated for the first time in the EuroLeague. We did second position and played some good matches. Interesting match against Germany. And I think our main goal here with this quite young team, with one very experienced player, our setter, Fabrice, is to maintain that level of playing and to increase even that level of playing we achieved during the EuroLeague. We're not focusing on a position or quarterfinal or whatever, but I know that when my team is playing that level like in the EuroLeague, we can have good results.
Thank you very much. And then Svetlana, it's a big honor for sure to have the Swiss team participating for the European Championship, and I think Svetlana is very happy that now it starts.
For sure. I completely agree with you. This is pretty big honor. We can start to enjoy a little bit this benefit like organizers of European Championship, because most of you knows that for us it's very, very big day. Also big week, because after 40-some years participating European Championship or one big event like this one, it's for sure kind of benefit. But somehow I think we deserve also to enjoy this company, because the teams next to us in this pool, for sure they can prove them quality with tradition, with a lot of competitions behind them, which we have to ride the day to day. Not yet. Like everybody, we collect the team 3.5 years ago, working always by summer programs, making team from the girls who are till this moment who were just fans of volleyball, I would say like this. much more than professional players, because since I started the project I had only one professional player. Changing phase completely till today, we have group of 14 girls which are full professional players during the summer period, like 10 of them even during the championship season. And I am sure that this is enormous big experience for us. We had a lot of goals, not only participating in European Championship, but also try to bring one team in Europe which will be much more volleyball team. Volleyball on this level, what European Championship is. For sure, for us, the set the goals about result would be not really thankful, because playing against those three teams in our pool, we have really no right to say in advance how much strength we have to beat them. And I will say that we are for sure ready for starting of European Championship. I am sure that even all these minuses, if I can say like this, that in experience that my team have, I am sure that we will not be shaming them. I am sure that my team is ready to participate in European Championship and present volleyball on the nice level.
Thank you very much, Svetlana. Go to the second question. How do you see your pool? And I will start again now with you. So we go the other way around. How do you see the pool with who can win, who can be first and directly qualify for the quarterfinals? How do you see your team? You already mentioned it a little bit, but...
Of course, look, I'm pretty sure that all four of us, we would not sit here if we don't expect that our teams are making also good result. Now the next question is who of us mean what by result. When I'm starting team by team, I would say that for sure, for me, maybe most experienced and level of the volleyball team have right to say it's Mr. Mencarelli with Italy, because of all this what I saw during the summer. They for sure they have right to be kind of favorite of the group. But still, I would not forget, not only because we are friends and he was my teacher for some years and I was his assistant, but watching the EuroLeague and whole summer following Belgium team, they are also not so far from going in the second round and making much more than just pass the round. I would not forget also my colleague from the left side and my friend. France has traditionally participating all this European Championship and history of the results. I'm sure that even he expects a lot of good and positive results. So to say that we are somehow outsider of the group, it's for me clear. It's nothing wrong, nothing bad. But like I said, European Championship starts tomorrow, and what I am expecting from my team and what I am asking is just when we get anywhere 1 centimeter of the chance to pass the round, we will try to grab it.
Thank you very much.
Okay, I will discuss in the opposite order of playing. Last match in this pool we play against Italy. I think everybody knows that Italy is, I think everybody will agree, the top favorite, not only of the pool, also of maybe the tournament. They played Grand Prix, they played well in the Grand Prix. Next year my team will be able to play at Grand Prix because of the second position in EuroLeague. This is a fantastic experience and also fantastic preparation for a tournament like this. Second match we play against Switzerland, against Setza, her team. I think it's always dangerous. I know that the Swiss team has not the same experience like France, like Belgium, like Italy in playing European Championship, but they play at home, and we had that experience many years ago in 2007 in Hasselt. In Belgium we played also at home. We were not favored at all, but we played a good tournament and became 7th, so you never know. It's always special to play at home, so we have to be careful. And then first match tomorrow we play against France. We know each other very well, Fabrice and I. We played a lot of matches against each other. I think I didn't count them, but I think it's almost 50-50 in winning and losing those matches. So it will be a very important match to start. We also played for the qualification of this tournament against each other. We lost 3-1 in Slovenia, we won 3-0 at home, so it was very close, and all the matches, all the time we played against France, we were very close, so we have to be ready for tomorrow.
Thank you, Gert. Thank you very much. Fabrice?
Ils ont déjà dit beaucoup de choses. C'est sûr que l'Italie, ça reste l'équipe la plus forte de cette poule, à mon sens, et aussi une favorite pour le titre. La Suisse joue à la maison et ça a toujours été une équipe qui se bagarre en permanence sur le terrain, malgré, on va dire, peut-être une petite inexpérience à ce niveau de compétition, mais en tout cas, on les a joués l'année dernière en Ligue européenne et elles se sont toujours battues à 200% pour exister dans toutes leurs confrontations. Donc ça reste une équipe qu'on respectera et la meilleure façon de la respecter, c'est de la battre. Et pour ce qui est des Belges, ben, en effet, ça reste une bataille régulière ensemble. On avait raté le coche l'année dernière pour se qualifier directement à l'Euro en les gagnant 3-1, en perdant 3-0 au retour. Donc je pense qu'il y a un petit goût de revanche qui va se sentir demain sur le terrain, parce que ben, on sait que ce premier match va être un match à fort enjeu.
Ah, ça veut dire quoi?
Une grosse importance pour la suite de la compétition.
Okay. Merci beaucoup. So Italy is the team to beat. Fabrice said even favorite for the title, probably, or it can be. Then Switzerland has a big fighting spirit, and they played against each other in EuroLeague last year, and also they saw already this kind of fighting spirit, and they respect them a lot. And the only way to respect them is to beat them, or one of the ways to respect them is to beat them. So that's already interesting. And then Belgium, they had a fight for the qualification with 3-1 and then 0-3 loss, and they feel kind of revenge and would like to show that now it's different. And then the second argument is that the first game is always very important. So tomorrow for them, the game against Belgium is probably one of the most important ones for the rest of the tournament. Merci beaucoup. Marco?
Io ho una conoscenza di queste squadre che risale a un momento, diciamo, molto indietro della stagione. Ho visto giocare il Belgio in Europa League, ho visto giocare la Francia ai Giochi del Mediterraneo, ho visto giocare la Svizzera al torneo di Montreux, e so per esperienza che nel corso dell'estate il valore delle squadre cambia moltissimo, quindi quello che posso dire è che sarà questo il momento per scoprire il lavoro che è stato fatto durante l'estate. È difficile dare una graduatoria, anche perché quando si giunge a queste fasi finali sì, ci sono, diciamo, dei valori dichiarati sulla carta che però possono essere cambiati dalle strategie tattiche, possono essere cambiati da delle situazioni che sono estemporanee, e ogni partita col girone da 4 è una partita decisiva, perché chiaramente c'è poco margine per correggere un'eventuale sconfitta, quindi è qui che ci preoccuperemo di capire quali saranno i punti di forza degli avversari per andare a cercare, diciamo, di trovare la nostra strategia, fermo restando che i valori sulla carta sono quelli magari che hanno già dichiarato i nostri colleghi, i miei colleghi, quindi non metto in dubbio quello.
Grazie mille. Allora, you saw the three teams already in different preparation phases, also before summer, and now he's wondering how they worked during summer. And for sure we have the papers, and we know that Italy can be one of the favorites. But on the other hand, then we have to prove it on the court, and it can also always be different, and can also always be a surprise than what we see really in the action and on the day of game. So he agrees what all the other three coaches said about the three teams, the four teams, and also about Italy, and now it's time to prove it on the court. And my last question was like, how do you see the tournament in general? Now we are just one pool here in Zurich, 3 other pools in Germany. Who are the favorites for you? You can start again, Marco. Quale squadra tu vedi come squadre più forte? Ma per tutto il torneo, sì, come vai anche l'Italia andare più avanti?
Ma dunque, per quello che abbiamo visto, diciamo, nell'ultimo periodo diciamo, di attività, ho visto una Serbia decisamente forte, contro cui siamo riusciti a tenere un po' di equilibrio per 3-7 nella partita che abbiamo giocato alla finale del Grand Prix. Ho avuto modo di testare una Germania interessante, forse con una punta di attacco in meno, con un po' di attacco in meno rispetto alla Serbia, però sempre una squadra importante. Credo che la Turchia possa essere una considerata tra squadre migliori, e poi chiaramente ho giocato contro l'Olanda, che l'Olanda, per quanto giovane, credo che abbia una buona organizzazione. In questo momento può essere una squadra che può essere un outsider importante, e cioè sorpresa fino a un certo punto, ma sicuramente la Bulgaria è un'altra squadra che ha grandi valori e un assetto tattico molto, molto interessante. Mi sembra di non voglio. Ci sono altre squadre che possono inserirsi in questo meccanismo, perché, ripeto, sono tutte fasi molto corte, quindi lasciano spazio a dei risultati a sorpresa, e quindi tutto questa valutazione considera semplicemente sulla carta.
Sì, è giusto. So again, what we said before, it's some informations are on paper, but some other information will be proved on the court, and in a pool of 4 there can be a lot of surprises. You lose one game and then can be very different, but in general he can say that Serbia can be one of the favorites of the tournament. They proved also a very good level now during the World Grand Prix campaign. They had a big fight against them during World Grand Prix. Then Germany has a good team, probably not that powerful at the net with like Serbia. And then Turkey as a team was always very, very strong the last 3-4 years. And probably also 2 outsiders, or how we call it, outsiders. Not really outsiders.
Ho dimenticato anche la Russia.
Russia, ok. And he said probably the Netherlands and Bulgaria, probably 2 teams not like mentioned at first for the favorites, but could be 2 good teams. The Netherlands with a very young team, but well organized, and also Bulgaria with some power. So, and then Russia for sure, also as another option. Thank you very much, Markus. Fabrice.
Je pense que sur le championnat d'Europe, ça va être vraiment les équipes qui vont arriver, peut-être les moins fatiguées aussi dans toutes ces équipes que Marco vient de citer. La Serbie, c'est très très fort, ce que j'ai vu, mais elles sont allées loin dans la compétition et elles risquent d'arriver fatiguées sur le championnat d'Europe. Par contre, j'ai vu aussi des matchs de la Russie qui n'a pas été qualifiée pour le final, pour la phase finale, le Final Six, et j'ai trouvé la Russie très très forte. Donc c'est vrai que toutes ces équipes sont potentiellement capables de gagner le championnat d'Europe, mais je pense que c'est véritablement sur cette fin de saison, avec le positionnement du Grand Prix qui était très proche du championnat d'Europe, qui va déterminer si oui ou non ces équipes vont passer.
So he agrees with like the same teams as Marco said, but also added that it can be very interesting then also how those teams are like how can I say dealing with their power. Probably they will be a little bit tired, especially some teams which went very long, very far in the World Grand Prix, like Serbia, and probably Russia didn't qualify for the final stage, but he saw them also very, very strong, playing very strongly. So it can be finally a matter of recuperation, a matter of like being very strong in the final stage. Players who still are able to be very strong on this deciding games. Merci beaucoup. Gert, what do you think about the whole tournament?
I think I agree. What is already said. The pool of Russia, I think Russia is favorite, also top favorite for the tournament. Second pool in Germany is a pool with Turkey and Germany. I think Germany hopes to play in Berlin and is an important outsider for the tournament, for sure also Turkey. I think the pool with Serbia, Poland and Bulgaria is the toughest pool of all. Bulgaria played very good rugby, and I think Serbia is top favorite for the tournament. And I already said that in our pool, I think Italy is one of the three important outsiders for the first position. But if I had money, I would say go on Serbia.
all in on Serbia.
But I don't have any money, so I will not do it.
Well, finally.
But it's very tricky because it will get very close.
Okay. Svetlana?
Very interesting, you know, how much further I'm going in my coaching career, so more I know about my ex-teachers, you know. So he ever learned me that I cannot gamble. When I'm doing something, I have to be sure. But you really put very interesting question in front of all of us, and I will be just honest. I would not gamble, but I can say one thing surely. Since last 5 European Championship, in my opinion, this is one of those where you cannot say clearly the favorite name. I see, like, following this summer Grand Prix competition, all European teams participating there, really all of them have their own philosophies, maybe different styles, but very high level of volleyball. You can just say, like, my taste is I like more Italy, or because I'm Serbian, of course, I prefer Serbian team, but you cannot say that one of those teams coming from there play bad volleyball or have no chance to stay on podium. I am sure that if you will go inside of each of those coaches, which I agree completely with my colleagues, they call almost all names like a favorite, but there you have around 6 or 8 teams which are pretending for podium, you know. It's very difficult competition. All of them are already coming from very, very difficult summer. And maybe Fabrice gave us a little bit more answer, depend of who of them quickest will be finding the moment of the shake. Because I am sure that only small details will be deciding which one of them can be reaching them goals. For sure, I watched the last few games of Final 6 on Grand Prix, and there I say Serbia with really one aggressive game, tall team, and a lot of power in attack, but also one Italy with great organization in transition game. I follow whole season all Russian players which are now participating in competition, and for sure they are them danger. It's not only them name from the past, but also everything what is changed, starting with the coach and style of the game. Working way, because all summer I follow my players which are there, and I see that they work very hard. Plus, where they have maybe a little bit more time to recover after the Grand Prix, it's exactly this Final 6 period, where they get a little bit more fresh air than Serbia and Italy. But I would not forget, of course, not Turkey, not Bulgaria, and in my opinion also one Poland, which is traditionally very high quality. But I see by the names why they can be surprising a moment in the tournament, in whole tournament. It's you saw few games, they have player which in one day can score over 40 points and decide whole situation. So I really would not gamble with any one of them. They all have them chances. I would be a little bit more supporting Serbia, of course, than anybody else, but I would say whoever win European Championship this year will not be without good reason.
Thank you very much, all four of you. Now, floor is open for questions.
I have a question to Mr. Mencarelli. How do you prepare your team for a game against Switzerland? If perhaps your players could be a little tired and they know they play against a team more than 100 positions further back in the world ranking, is there kind of dangerous they perhaps take it too easy, or how do you prepare your ladies?
Non ho capito tutta la parola. Come ho preparato?
Perché forse la tua squadra è un po' stanca e poi c'è anche la possibilità, perché la Svizzera nel miglior ranking è dietro, così forse è un po' più...
No, non abbiamo un metodo differente di preparazione delle partite in base al ranking, cioè per me ogni partita ha un valore suo e la preparazione della gara contro la Svizzera avrà gli stessi accorgimenti con cui prepariamo tutte le altre gare, compreso dove riusciremo ad arrivare. E anche perché quando ho visto giocare la Svizzera a Montreux mi è sembrata una squadra ben organizzata, quindi chiaramente dobbiamo essere sicuri che la nostra strategia è adeguata a quel tipo di gioco tattico.
Preparation is the same for him, for like a team like Switzerland or another team. The players need to focus exactly on the same points as they do for other teams. And he saw them also playing in Montreux, and they were quite well organized and had a good fighting spirit. So for him, it's a game like all the other games are.
And how would you compare the team that you have now back to 1 year, the team in London?
Paragone? Sicuramente quella nel recente passato l'Italia ha schierato un livello di esperienza molto, molto alto. Già dal Mondiale 2010 avevamo diciamo così, un gruppo, un sestetto estremamente alto come età media e quindi come età agonistica. Adesso abbiamo esattamente il contrario, stiamo giocando tutta l'estate con un sestetto, con vari sestetti differenti, sempre con un'età media tendenzialmente più bassa rispetto alla manifestazione a cui prendevamo parte. Quindi chiaramente questa è una differenza importante, perché poi si riflette sull'esperienza delle giocatrici.
The main experience would be like to have a different setup of the team. Before we were like a lot of experienced player, but they were playing always in the same starting 6 or starting 7. And now he has a younger team, let's say, but a lot of changes. Like he can use all 12 players always, and the setup of the team can change from one game to the other. So this is the main difference.
Io di solito quando parlo di esperienza intendo una certa continuità di gioco, ossia chi è esperto riesce a non avere grossi momenti di grande, cioè non c'è differenza tra i momenti positivi e i momenti negativi sul rendimento, quindi mentre invece con le squadre più giovani momenti di grandissima pallavolo alternati a momenti di pallavolo veramente dove ci sono delle ingenuità, degli errori banali, quindi questa è la differenza, ecco perché parlo di esperienza.
Sì,
è la differenza.
When he talks about experience, he also means that when you have a very experienced team, like the level can be like always on the same way of playing it. And now with a team like he has now, you can have like very, very strong moments, but it can also be like more difficult a little bit later. So a lot of up and downs with kind of team like that.
Is that because you're still building up your strongest possible team for next year?
Faccio questo perché abbiamo bisogno di trovare, di partire con un ricambio generazionale. Abbiamo delle giocatrici che ovviamente hanno molta esperienza ma anche un po' di anni e chiaramente dobbiamo essere pronti a sostituirli e per riuscire a mantenere alto livello di competitività. Nell'ultimo mondiale siamo arrivati quinti con 4 squadre davanti, tranne forse no, tutte erano più giovani di noi come età media, quindi in questo momento significa dover cambiare qualcosa.
So they are obliged to change because they saw in the last years that they have some older players and they need to change, and it's kind of a how do you call that? Transition phase. That means he needs to have new players, younger players, and when they played the last, what was it, World Championship or World Championship, they finished fifth, and they saw that 4 teams with younger players were in front of them, So for him it was like a sign to say, okay, now we have to go back and find some new and younger players.
Question pour M. Vande Broek. Pour le match contre la France, est-ce que vous pensez que votre équipe a un peu plus d'expérience que la France? Et quelles sont pour vous les forces et les faiblesses maintenant, cette année, pour l'équipe de France?
The question was for Gert, if Belgium is a little bit more experienced than France in their next game, and what can be the positive points for the Belgian team and for the French team?
I don't think we have many secrets for each other because we play so often against each other. The French team is changed a little bit compared with the last matches we played against them because there are 2 young players who came in the selection, Federer and Jupiter, especially those. But I don't think you can say that that team is less experienced than our team. I think Bauer, Rybachevsky and so on are very experienced players. So I think point of view experience, maybe there's more advantage for France in compared with us, but we played this EuroLeague, so we played more matches during this season. But like Fabrice also said, this can be an advantage, also a disadvantage, because maybe there's a little bit of fatigue in the team. I don't know, I don't think so, but all the matches against France are very close, and the quality of France is a fighting spirit in France also. I think it's also the quality of the Belgian team, but it's unpredictable the result.
Other questions?
One question to the French and the Belgian coach, because of course you will have that battle among each other. You will know that against Italy they will be the big favorite. As a second and a third of the group you will pass on to the next stage. So probably your most important game is the one against us outsiders from Switzerland.
It's 100% correct. The main goal of our team is to get to the second round, and then you have to become second or third in your pool. But it's quite uncomfortable to play after a defeat against the Swiss team who has that organization and also this very good attitude. I saw the Swiss team in the World Cup qualification in Belgium, and I saw them now on video, and it's quite another team. So they're more competitive now than they were 3 months ago. So congratulations to Setsa for what she did and what the team did. But and also because I said already the other pool is a very strong pool. It's the strongest pool of the European Championship. I mentioned Bulgaria, I mentioned Serbia, but I didn't forget to mention Poland as also an outsider for the titles, and Czechia, 4 teams who are playing Grand Prix. So maybe you can think that it's not important to become third or second, but I think it's another atmosphere in the team, another flow when you win again this first match. Starting the first match is incredibly important for this tournament. So we will be ready and we will be focused only on the match of tomorrow, and then we'll see.
Je pense que le match contre la Belgique est très important parce qu'en effet c'est le premier match et que dans notre calendrier, nous on a le dernier match contre la Suisse. Si jamais on perd contre la Belgique et l'Italie, on va jouer notre tête sur ce dernier match avec une équipe qui joue à la maison. C'est toujours compliqué ces matchs, ça sera compliqué pour nous, ça sera compliqué aussi pour la Suisse parce que ça c'est peut-être comme ça à un moment que ça peut se passer. Donc c'est pour ça que le premier match contre la Belgique pour nous est encore plus important par rapport à notre calendrier. Et puis par rapport à l'autre poule, je crois que terminer deuxième ou troisième, ça n'a pas tellement d'importance parce que les 4 équipes de l'autre poule sont très fortes et il faudra se bagarrer pour passer ensuite en quart de finale contre une équipe qu'on termine 2e ou 3e qui va de toute façon être très forte.
So Fabrice said that it's probably not that important to finish second or third in terms of next round games because this pool coming from Schwerin is very strong and it doesn't change a lot if you play against Poland or if you play against Bulgaria or if you play whatever. But it's very important to win against this first game because then probably if you lose it, then you lose against Italy and you arrive finally for the last game against Switzerland. And then you know you have to win this game because if you don't win, you are out. That means for him it would be very safe to win already the first game, so he knows that probably has good chances to go to the next round.
And for Svetlana, it is also very important to win the first game.
Look, that's in life always, you know. You have days where you can joke with these things, but some another moment maybe I would be mad on you.
But is it good or bad to play first against Italy, or do you don't care?
So look, I hear this question already last month at least 20 times.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No problem. No, it's not about you. I'm just always thinking, should I change? Or I still have to say my opinion from the first day.
I didn't hear.
Look, it's just for us to be participating in this group. Like all of them said, we have some things which are pluses, which are minuses, you know. When I'm thinking this way around, I know that my team will be under enormous big pressure first 30 minutes coming in the gym. So you should understand, this is normal for me. I expect that first day for them just coming in the gym and making like knowing each other, all this surrounding and what they are on day to day, it's not easy to facing all this story. So when I have to make a choice, what is better one, I prefer this way. Because for sure, we will give our all energy to play nice volleyball against the Italian team. But to be honest, I just prefer to be realistic. We are very far away by the levels. So when we get the chance, we will do it, believe me. But to be honest, we just cannot compare us with Italy today, that I have so much problem that it's first day against them. I think that more familiar for my players, second and third day will be already giving them more air to be free to forget that it's starting European Championship, but just be able to focus on the games. So, like when we all said our chances are, we see us by our own eyes, you know. So when I said stronger chance, not at all that I underestimate any one team, Belgium or France, but when I would be honest, to search chances against Italy would be a little bit too high standard. So I don't think so that this is wrong way for us to play first day against them. At least I think that this kind of freedom that they don't have to think about result at all, knowing the gym better and surrounding, it is much easier way. I think this is good one.
Okay, we know that the coaches still have a lot of work to do, so I would just ask you for 1 or 2 more questions and then leave them back to the hotel. Yes?
Yeah, a question for Svetlana Ilic. In France, we know Ines Kawarka very well. She's from a well-known French volleyball family. She's on the posters for the tournament. What do you expect from her?
Look, it's for sure it's not for nothing and there on the like a phase of European Championship presenting Switzerland. Even I prefer that I have all my players on the same level. I would not put finger on not one of them to say something special about one and the rest not. But you know, her face for sure is very interesting. Many people knows her even much earlier than she became volleyball player. It's coming from the famous volleyball family, like not only playing volleyball, having all these people behind her, her mother, her father, her brother. in a volleyball, I think it's nice moment, you know, it's that Switzerland is recognized by the players who are choosing volleyball for them life. So when you ask me about this moment, that why her face it's there on, but about volleyball career, I think that she is still young, very young, like a lot of my players, and I'm very happy and satisfied that her choice, like in the last 2.5 years, was that she completely changed the mind. She became professional volleyball player, and her future is, like most of you knows, in Bolero. Very happy about decision because she will further grow up as a player. Also, many of them who choose for the volleyball future. So I think that she progressed a lot, but I still believe that future is in front of her.
Last question. You're fine. The coaches are still here if you want to have some like direct interview for some more minutes. Thank you very much, coaches. Thank you very much, and see you soon.